Alright folks, welcome to another raid video, and it's free to play time again. Just before we start the video, I have to say I'm probably going to get kicked off the, the content creator program for saying this, but this game is so much more fun free to play than it is pay to play, definitely. With the exception of Arena. I think the main reason I play this game is because I like endgame Arena and I like the competitive nature of it. It's really cool. It's similar to, like I've said before, Magic the Gathering or something like that, but just for out and out playing the game, I'm way preferring playing on the free to play account right now. It's crazy. So never thought I'd actually enjoy doing this. It's just fun. It's fun when you open a champ, something basic like an apothecary or something. But anyways, we're just going to do a quick recap of what's been going on the account. Progressing pretty well, to be honest. We're up to level 40 just now. Let's have a look at the day. We are now on to day 13. It's just turned day 13, so we're nearly 2 weeks in now. So we're getting there. I really want to be at a decent milestone by day 30. I'm kind of at a standstill. What's my new player rewards? I'm just about to get Jizzo. So that guy, he's actually pretty good, to be honest. Progression awards, I've just got an epic skill tome. I'm away to get 100. I should get 100 gems next time. I really need rare books. I'm struggling for rare books. And yes, on missions and stuff, we're kind of at a bit of a standstill right now. So I'm upgrading the Great Hall bonus to level 4 is what I'm on. We are rattling through it. We're nearly halfway through the missions. Well, I say nearly halfway, but this second half is infinitely harder, so it's going to take ages. But really would like to get this Sacred Shard by this weekend, because it's 2 times Sacreds this weekend. And I've kept one of them. I actually opened my very first Sacred just because I needed food. But I've kept one of them, and I'd like to be able to open 2. Potentially could actually get 3 for this weekend if I really grind it out, so we're going to try. I'll explain how in a minute. But as soon as I get this Great Hall bonus to level 4, I should be able to rattle through. I've looked at all of these, most of these, to be honest. I'll be able to rattle up to 75 pretty quickly, to be honest, because this is the only thing that's going to hold me up, actually. I think 2 Great Hall bonuses to level 4. But once I get my Kale to 6-star, I should be able to get those silver medals pretty quickly. So Great Hall is pretty naff, as to be expected on day 13. But we're going to, instead of increasing accuracy, which I would highly recommend to any new player doing, I'm actually just going to go at crit damage. I'm looking to build an arena team that can get into platinum fast, so I'm going for attack and crit damage, obviously on my Kale. And I'm just going to chuck accuracy to whatever debuffer I land with by that point. If I'm trying to push into platinum with a War Maiden, it's going to be a struggle. Hopefully we can get someone like a Duck Pierced or like a Stag Knight. Anything like that would be pretty good. Tyrell, Zargala, there's so many choices out there that would be pretty cool. So well, hopefully we can open one of them. But yeah, that's the Great Hall just now. Challenges, I am rattling through them as well, actually. 4 or 5 for this. This is just one that I can't do until I actually get another level 50, but I'm concentrating on Kale. My artifact things, yeah, I'm on 9 of 10 to get a Void Shard. It's just a case of doing these. I could probably end up doing it right now. I really should. It's not any energy rewards, unfortunately. I think it's all silver and maybe an energy at the end. Nope, silver. But the energy rewards ones I've been doing pretty quickly just so I can keep grinding. This is one thing I should be able to do. I think I might be able to do this hopefully by this weekend. The only issue is going to be the stage 13 of the Fire Knight's Castle, which might be quite tough. But I really would like to get that Sacred this weekend. So if I can get that Sacred there, if I can get the one from the missions, and I've already got the ones from the campaigns, apart from Nightmare, but I'm not doing Nightmare yet. That will give me 3 Sacreds for this weekend, and that is for the, if you can find it, Global Summoning Boost for Sacred Shards. So we'll have 3 Sacreds at a 12% chance of getting a Legendary. God, it would be so good to get a Legendary in this account at this stage, but unlikely. But even 3 shots at decent epics on this account at this level is perfect. So we're going to do an opening on Saturday. I'll do a video for it, definitely. If I don't pull anything, I'll probably rage pull my Void and my 2 Ancients as well. Hopefully we can pick up another couple of shards before then. And then we could make some headway on the tournament. I think, is it a tournament or a champion chase? Let me have a look. It is a champion chase tournament, yes. So It's not, yeah, it will reward getting better champions. Incidentally, we did actually get, this is the one thing that's annoying about free to play. I didn't actually start this account till maybe a good few days into the Brogdon fusion, but I've been left with like 15 fragments here, 30, 35, and 50 for Giscard. I just wish there was a way of grinding these guys out, because Giscard would be amazing for my account. He's so good. Really, really good kit. He would just totally change the account if I was able to get him. But unfortunately, I cannot, and I've only got half of his fragments. And I've got a feeling for a lot of people that play Raid, they're just going to be sitting with loads and loads of these, just like 40 of 100, 35 of 100, and just no real way to ever finish them, without the fact that at some point they'll inevitably put them behind a paywall and say you can buy 10 shards, 15 shards here. Sorry, fragments. But it would be really nice to see just these fragments thrown into random tournaments through the week, you know. Like even this week, just say the arena tournament that's going on just now, rather than having, you know, 6 pieces of 5-star relentless gear, like nobody wants them, throw in 20 fragments for, I don't know, not 100, Iron Brago, something like that. People would spend so much more money as well trying to get these pieces, and it'd make a real difference. You know, there'll be so many people that are just fragments off getting that champion, so they'll really make a push for it. Make it more exciting. I think a lot of other games that do fragment collecting type things do that, and it really does help the game. But we are definitely not getting the Brogdon. I fused him on my main, and he's absolutely nuts, guys. He's definitely legitimate. Going to be doing a little video on him pretty soon in Arena, just to show you guys. I know a lot of people have asked how is he in Arena, because that's usually how I test my champions. He's good. He's really good. Scarhide, I could go about fusing Razin. I've not even thought about it, to be honest. I've got other things to do in this account. I don't think I'm really going to have the time to put into grinding to get Razin, although he'd be very good. And he is a good arena champion. I think he would be really good for clan boss, but we're not going for that with this account just now. So that's where we're at with all of that stuff. I've been asked by quite a few people what this little icon here is next to the XP. So for anyone that doesn't know, that's your free artifact removal icon. That you only get that when you're a new player for 3 weeks. Like I said in the last video, probably one of the best things for a new player. It's been so good for me. I've just been able to move gear about, you know, when I'm farming. Sometimes I'm farming at a higher level now, so I'll be jumping into things like campaign. I was actually farming brutal, and I've been farming the speed gear out of this thing here. So in stage 6, I've just been farming loads of speed boots, as much as I possibly could, because that's what I'm needing. And when I'm running it like this, Kale does every so often die, and when you're free to play, you can't really afford to lose too many fights because you're not getting maximum bang for your buck. So I've been sticking in like one guy in like a really defensive build, like off one of my good champions, and it means he stays alive long enough to let the Kale do his work. And then when I'm leveling up other people, I just basically throw that gear off him and put it on someone else, and it's really good for starting out. So I highly recommend, if you are starting this game on your first 3 weeks, just grind like crazy and move your gear about all the time, because you can do it for free. You might as well make use of it, because in a week and 2 days, I believe, yes, in a week and 2 days, it's going to cost me a fortune to do this, so I'm going to stop doing it. But that is what I have been doing a lot of. I've been doing a lot of grinding and a lot of leveling up gear. I've been doing a lot of spider, and I've been failing miserably. So although I did get lucky with the apothecary and the jingle hunter, I've not been particularly lucky with gear, apart from this one piece here. I got very lucky with that Swift Parry boots, but it's not actually a set right now. I can't make a Swift Parry set yet, hopefully soon. So I got lucky with that, but I've been really unlucky with the pieces on spider, so I can only get a 3-star attack ring so far, and I cannot get a crit damage amulet to save myself. As soon as I can get that, this champion will skyrocket in value. But at the moment, he's only 5-star as well. He's 153 speed, pretty slow because of the attack boots, but once I level him up, he should have pretty decent attack, and I get a crit damage amulet on him, he'll do some work. Masteries, I've still not changed the masteries from the last time I did this video. The main reason is it's not efficient enough to get those masteries. So what I did is I just wanted to get Ruthless Ambush For all you new players out there, the masteries is one of the biggest things for hitting damage on a damage dealer. So you just have to make sure you hit the right ones. So if you're laying like a speed lead, boost round, debuffer, and then into a nuker, you need Ruthless Ambush, because that 8% is a straight up 8% multiplier on the damage, so it really boosts your damage. Things like this as well, Heart of Glory can work too. Normally you have to kind of pick between the two, to be honest. I mean, you could potentially go down here, but I like Shield Breaker. Shield Breaker is really good, especially because I don't have a Madame or anything just now, so a lot of the targets will still be under shield buffs. But if you do have a Madame, you could go into here, into here, into here, down to here, and down to here, and you would get the 5% from Heart of Glory, and you would also get Ruthless Ambush. So if I ever do have a stripper, that's probably what I would do. Things like this bring it down as well, 6% attacking things with max HP. If you are putting people to sleep, Kaimar or freezes with Tormund or anything like that, this is a massive multiplier at 12% for Opportunist. Really, really strong. Stuns as well, True Fears, so there's loads of champions that do this. This is always one to consider doing. And obviously I'll get a ton more damage when I actually get down to either Flawless Execution or, which the one I would recommend is Helm Smasher, as most people know. So that is my Kale just now. I've put a fair bit of work into Jingle Hunter, fair bit in here. I've just been leveling up gear. Like I said, I've been grinding for a lot of speed boots, so as you can see, I've got loads of common speed boots. They're just sitting there ready to use, one defense piece. Grinded some chest pieces too. I was looking for resistance actually and accuracy, so I got one 5-star accuracy, and I think my one resistance one is on my apothecary. That's what I wanted. Didn't get very good rolls in it, unfortunately, but I will boost that up to level 16 soon and get loads of resistance on him, which is what I want. And I've got 5-star common speed boots. Again, I'm just looking for as much speed as possible just now, so that's why I was just grinding for the common pieces, and I got a little bit lucky with some of the pieces here from Dragon, but unfortunately 2 of these are 4-star and they've not got a lot of speed on them, but they're double speed rolls, so it's enough. Single speed roll in here and a double there. It's taken us up to a grand total of 226 speed, which doesn't sound like a lot because I'm used to crazy high speeds, but I seem to be outrunning the vast majority of teams at the level I'm doing. Now, I'm not able to kill everyone because my Kale isn't hitting hard enough yet, but I'm definitely winning the speed race in most of them, which is pretty surprising, to be honest. I thought at like Silver 2 I'd start getting outrun, but not yet anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see how high this can climb. Obviously don't have a banner yet, so I can get more speed off that. I mean, I don't own a single banner in the game yet, so that's obviously an issue. And we will get a little bit more speed when we can get the masteries down to Lore of Steel for this guy as well. Struggling for books as well. I really could do with some books. Not really for PvP, but for PvE, I'll be able to boost around a lot more content if I'm able to get this down to a 2-turn cooldown, which everyone knows is massively OP, this healing ability for a rare. It's really, really good. And obviously quicker speed on here is always a bonus too. Jingle Hunter here, he's got some pretty decent gear as well. Now, as you can see with Jingle Hunter and War Maiden, I've been able to gear them pretty well because of perception sets. Now, I think I covered this briefly in my last video, but I'm really going to go over this for new players. This forge is incredible for new players. So much better being a new player just now than it was when I first started the game. And the main reason, well, there's 2 main reasons. The first one is just being able to get good gear early. So, like I say, I got that 6-star Swift Parry boots here, which was attack. I mean, that's a crazy piece. That's an end game piece right there. Especially if that had rolled crit damage and not that double flat HP, this would have been better than any of the Swift Parry boots on my main account. And I've been playing that for like a year and a half straight, and spent a fair bit of cash on it. So that's a really cool thing to get straight away. And yeah, perception as well. What I've been doing here is, even though I can't grind very far on the faction wars yet, like I'm mainly grinding the first 2 stages on faction wars. Like here, I've got 2. Oh, I don't have any keys left here, but I've got 2 pieces of food at 5-star with like no gear on them that have just been grinding this just to get, you know, just to get single-star glyphs, because I'm glyphing everything just now. And here I don't even own, well, I've got these guys, so I'm going to chuck my random gear, because I can do it for free right now, onto these 3 guys and just farm the first stage over and over and over again. purely just to get not just the glyphs, the 1-star glyphs, but also these. It drops rare materials. And what I've been doing with the rare materials is if you go in here, the rare materials actually buys you some of this stuff. And because I've got a few champions at decent levels, I'm able to get my dark elves and my high elves whenever the faction wars come around to pick up plenty of these. So I've just been fusing 4 to 5 star versions of these. And obviously I get rank and rarity charms from the mini packs I think that they give you every couple of days. So I've been able to use them to get really decent pieces out of it. So that's the number one thing, fusing loads of perception gear and the odd bit of swift parry. I mean, I could start, doing more of these, but I really just want to save the core hammers and use them when I'm able to actually do the rare ones, because they're just so valuable, swift parry. You don't really want to throw them away. Deflection, not so much. I mean, it's actually, I shouldn't say not so much. I actually use it on my main account. It's pretty good. It's better than people give it credit for. Not just, I mean, this isn't as good as Swift Parry's ability, but plus 20% HP in defense is just better. If you have like a defense set and an HP set on, you're only getting 15% of each, but you're getting 20% of each for here. And most of the sort of tanky champions nowadays, they're not just HP or just defense. You want a good mix of the two just to make sure they're really survivable. Probably more HP than defense, to be honest. So you could run like deflection set and an HP set, and they'd be really, really tanky. So this isn't too bad, but I'd save your core hammers for a swift parry if you can. And the next thing that's really good about the Forge, which I was just about to go into, is if you go to the 3 to 4 section, any of these rare pieces for resilience that I was getting, I'm able to use them too, just to get cash. So like I say, any of these pieces, bloodstones, they go straight into the rare bloodstones and epic bloodstones. I just fuse these pieces for my gear. I've fused loads of it, so I'll show you in a minute. Any resilient stuff though, I go to the 3 to 4 here, I pay 1,000 to fuse a piece, and then look at this, I don't want to sell it for 7,000. So that's how I get silver. So I've just done it recently, so I don't actually have a lot of the soul stones on this account anymore, but I had like hundreds because I'd just been doing the faction wars, level 1, level 2, whatever I could every day, using all of the keys every single day, then doing my tag team, getting the 6 free extra, then doing that again. So I was getting loads of this, and then I was just doing this. And every so often you get like an epic one, there we go, 22k silver. So like half the time I was getting like 500,000 up to 1 million silver out of doing this. And at this level, 1 million silver is an upgrade to a piece of gear, which is massive. So the Forge is really cool, really, really cool for the low levels. We've got some events on just now that I'm attempting to do as well. We've got a champion training tournament, so I've been leveling up my food for Kale. So let's have a wee look how I'm doing. In my vault, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of food. So we're just about there to 6-star in Kale. As you can see, I've been using these guys in my Faction Wars team. They don't gain a lot of experience from Faction Wars when they go in, that's why they're only level 2. So that's all those folk. And the next piece of food, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there ready to level up to 4-star. And I'm going to food the shaman because she is terrible. Most people get her, she's very, very first, well, everyone gets her, sorry. She's like the first champion they give you. The next one's Jizzle, but I mean, she's got a revive, don't get me wrong. If you're, I would probably say if you are a very new player, it's probably worth hanging on to her because revive is such a strong ability. But I've been playing long enough to know that I don't want to invest anything in her because I'm just going to get rid of her pretty soon. So I figure, why not just food her right now? I'm actually going to hang on to the Warden in the end because he does put a decreased attack out, increased defense, which is actually pretty damn good for Clan Boss. And I need Clan Boss to get stuff to build up my arena team. So he's also got reflect damage, which does some stuff. He's based off defense too. So, and he puts on a weaken too. So he's actually pretty decent for Clan Boss. Not amazing, but he can be used, and he's better than most of the champions I've got. So I'm going to keep him. I'm going to keep Paragon because he's going to help me cheese the final part of Nightmare Campaign. If any of you guys struggling with Nightmare Campaign, this guy will cheese you through the last boss, because it's pretty much impossible to survive that peril otherwise, especially for getting the 3 stars on it to get the Sacred Shard. It's pretty difficult, and this is how I did it on my main account as well, so it was pretty cool that I pulled this guy from like the only Void Shard that I pulled, I think. Yeah, it was only 1 Void Shard, so that was quite lucky. And just a bunch of food here. As you can see, I've been leveling up straight from the bottom, leveling commons into 2-star, leveling 2 stars into 3, and I hopefully should have Kale 6-starred by the end of tonight, if not tomorrow, and then I should be able to grind out some more stuff because he will be infinitely stronger. And fingers crossed we can get a banner as well, like an accuracy banner with a crit damage amulet at 6-star, and then we'll be flying, I think. The arena team is working like basically Apothecary, so Jingle Hunter speed lead because he's got the fastest speed here, 24% aura, sorry, fastest speed aura. And then the fastest champion is Apothecary, 15% turn meter fill, increased speed 2 into War Maiden. So before my team was running, I hadn't really geared them properly because I didn't have the silver to do it. At the time, I wasn't even thinking about the resilience stuff in the forge, so I didn't realise I was sitting on like a couple of million silver right there. But I was able to figure that out finally and boost all my artifacts. So Crumbling Blast is now hitting before Jingle Hunter takes his turn, which is a big difference. So it goes from Apothecary into War Maiden at, I believe she's 170 something now, 175. Could get her a bit higher if I get some better gear, but that's fine. So 175 seems to be fine. Crumbling Blast puts down the decreased defense, and we've got this book now, so that's hitting every time as long as she hits no weak hits and has the accuracy. Then it goes into Jingle Hunter, who is running at, I believe, 168 speed now, and he's had quite a few changes. Now, his kit's pretty damn good. As you can see, this is all gear that I've had from doing the Perception Forge. Look at this, an accuracy chest piece with attack, crit rate, crit damage. We've got a double accuracy on a 4-star helmet here. We've got a double crit rate and accuracy on the shield here. And we've got a really, really good weapon with an accuracy, speed, attack, resistance. So this is a fairly endgame weapon, to be honest. I could use this right up to the endgame. So he's really strong at the moment. He's at 277 accuracy, which is way more than I need for this level. I mean, you could use that level 20 dungeons, no problem. And then 2 pieces of speed gear, again, just common speed boots. I've just collected them up because they're really handy to have. Just farm, you can just level up your food and farm common speed boots at the same time. And that way, you know you're farming the boot sections, you're really likely to get these because you really need speed boots, especially on speed set, to make your champions compete in arena just now. Crit rate gauntlets, unfortunately we didn't get a speed roll in here, that would have been nice, but crit rate gauntlets are a must. Now the biggest thing I was missing with this guy before is I didn't have crit rate on him because, again, I didn't have the silver to level up my gear, but at the moment he's running at 91 crit rate, and he's going to be running definitely more than that pretty soon because I'm going to get 5-star speed boots and hopefully get a crit rate on them from farming the common campaign thing, and that should boost us up to probably about 96%, which is fine. That's what we need. But his A3 is what we're using him for. Attacks all enemies, but it decreases their turn meter by 20% if the attack is critical. Also fills his turn meter by 10% if the attack is critical. So you really need him with critical damage for this. This is a pretty good ability too. I've not booked him. I'm not really going to book him because I don't really get that much value out of booking him. I'm only using him for this and then going into AoE nuke anyway, so most of the time, you know, I don't need the cooldown here. The extra damage would be quite cool, but I just feel I'm just saving my books up because at the moment I've got 11 saved up, so that is enough to book out a fantastic champion if we do pull one at the weekend on the Sacreds. So I'm really being pretty stringent with my books just now. We got 3 from doing the campaign for the legendaries as well, so we'll be saving that if we do get lucky and pull a legendary somewhere. Tournaments, there's not much going on just now. I think there's a Fire Knight tournament. I've not actually entered it at all. That's one thing I really need to work on is my Fire Knight team. But eventually, once I get Kale built up, I'm going to build up the Warden because he's also really good for Fire Knight. And like I said before, guys, hopefully, we can get to this Sacred Shard here, and in the challenges, the Sacred Shard here, but the hardest one is going to be the Fire Knight, unfortunately. But I think we could probably do it. This is going to be a long way off getting into gold. Yeah, that's it. My clan boss team, I'm not going to really go into it too much. I'm not doing fantastic. I've not actually hit the clan boss yet because I used all my keys trying to get double normal and double easy rolls, so I opened both of these yesterday. So I'm just going to start hitting hard pretty soon. I think I should be able to start getting the final chest on hard. I've really just been using this team here because, well, it's the only champions I've got build up, so I've not got much choice. But it seems to do okay. It's not nearly good enough for clan boss yet, but I will start putting a bit more effort, especially after this weekend, because I feel we're going to pull some reasonably good champions out of this. Because before I've just been opening every shard as I get it, because I was needing the food. I was needing to get my champions up quickly to compete in arena. But now I'm at a point where my arena team is doing fine for the level we're at, so I can actually afford to keep these shards, hopefully get a few sacreds, and pull something decent this weekend. See, this is the thing, playing free-to-play as well, especially at the start of the game, suddenly the marketplace is actually useful again. The only thing I use the marketplace for on my main account is just buying mystery shards, and every so often you get a nice ancient out of it, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, there was an ancient shard in here the other day, and I did not have nearly enough silver to get it. It was like 300,000, which was pretty gutting, to be honest. But I didn't want to sell the gear I had to get it, so I just had to leave it, unfortunately. And I didn't have any gems or anything else to, you know, grind and get the silver to get it. But that's playing free to play for you. That's just the deals. I've not unlocked the gem mine yet. Probably would recommend doing this if you're going to be playing this game long term. It is definitely worth doing. The reason I've not done it on this account is because, again, I'm going for speed. I'm trying to get there quick. So I figure at that point I'll probably have loads of gems anyway, so I'll just buy it then. But if you bought it early, you will make your money back in gems. Well, make your gems back in gems eventually. It just takes a while, so that's why I've not done it on this account. Let's have a look. We've got our 2 tokens for the day. We're just going to jump into arena and see how we're getting on. So we've left it for a while. We've actually dropped back into silver 1. We're hovering between silver 1 and silver 2 just now. So let's just go ahead and have some fights and see how we get on. We've got the Jingle Hunter in lead here. Let you see how the team is progressing. So we're definitely faster. Even this guy's High Katoon, we're definitely faster than him. Able to do this. And this makes such a difference. As you can see, Jingle Hunter is blowing a lot of the enemies up. Now here, the Acid Rain hits pretty damn hard in an AoE, but because of this, 4 times at random, just use that ability if there's only 1 champion left. Let's have a look at this one here. So we've got a double legendary team here, 60, level 60 in Ithwe, which is a bit of an issue, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to kill him before he's able to do any damage to us. They do have shields on. Able to get the decreased defense. Now let's see how much this does. See, it does a decent amount of damage, that ability. If I did actually book him out, I probably would be doing infinitely better, but ooh, wasn't quite able to kill Ithwe there, which is a bit of a problem. Now hopefully we can kill him here. Not quite. Okay, blocked revive on them. Now I'm just going to play it safe. No, the thing is, Larnicus can't kill us, so let's just try and get Ithwe out of there. Actually, that was a mistake, because if I killed her, then I could have done this on him, so let's just do this, see what happens. Okay, I think we're going to be able to do it. That was lucky. It's level 60 in Ithwe though, that's what you get. This guy's only level 31, look. And he has a very, very good team for level 31. How? I don't even understand that. How can you be at the point when you get Silver Drakes and still only be level 31? That doesn't seem possible. Anyways, yeah. Maybe I just grind too hard, who knows. Secret teams are a bit of a pain, but I'm going to attempt with this one. Because he puts up the increased defense. Now when Mikhail's 6-star with all the crit damage and everything, it won't be an issue. But at the moment, it is a slight issue. Because that will put up increased defense there. As you can see, that makes a massive difference to the team. Now hopefully we can just take out Kale here. This might be a loss, guys. Yep, that's a wipe. So that's why I don't fight Seeker teams, thought I'd just let you see it. These sort of teams are what we're looking for, because I think we're pretty safe in winning the speed race on most of these teams now. As you can see, this might end up killing them all, just this AoE. Most of them anyway. And then blow them up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip forward. I'm going to do a bunch of these fights. You've seen this team working loads. And we'll try and join in maybe at the end of Silver 1, start Silver 2 and see how we get on there. Right, so you've joined us back here. I've been grinding quite a bit here. The teams have been quite a lot tougher. So just addressing the problems with the arena again, there is a lot of pretty tough teams in here with people that have been obviously playing for a hell of a lot longer than I have. I think I'm 13 days in and I'm against, the amount of people at this low level that have Hegemon is insane. I cannot believe it. There's no one in this roster here, obviously, but normally I've got like two to three Hegemons in every single 10 pool that I have on here, which is crazy. I still don't have Hegemon in my main, so I'm going to be super pissed if I pull Hegemon on this free-to-play account, to be honest. But yeah, so I've used up all my tokens. I do believe, do I have? Yeah, I'm not wanting to start using gems tonight because I want to save them for this weekend. So we're just going to do one more fight. I'm actually able to kill most of the teams in this roster, I think. So I'll be able to kill this guy, I'm pretty sure. I definitely couldn't kill this team. It's 6-star Duchess and Neathway. Yeah, that's an absolute killer, especially at this level. Down. This team I can definitely beat. I could probably beat that team as well, actually, to be honest. I can definitely beat this team. So there's enough to get me into silver too. You get the idea. But to be honest, this is really where I'm hovering. I don't fall out of silver 1 anymore because I'm just using the same defense as my offense. But I don't really gain too much by going into silver 2. I want to grind in silver 2 for the medals, obviously. But once I get Kale to 6-star, this will be infinitely easier because teams like this here, I could beat them, but I'm just not able to kill them in a one-shot with Kale because of Seeker. So as soon as I 6-star Kale and get that crit damage up, it'll be much easier to do that and I'll be able to hopefully grind out that last mission. But we'll quickly use our last one. We'll go for this team because it has 3 legendaries. Lysandra in lead, so pretty fast. I might actually end up getting just totally spanked here. But it's just to let you guys see. We've got a 6-star Martyr here. Lysandra, Septimus, 3 of the top legendaries in the game. One of, if not the best, epics in the game here too. And we've got our humble team. Watch this, I'm going to get outrun here. Nope, we didn't. We're outrunning them, so the Lysandra's not as fast as us. For any new players, to tell this, you just look at the turn meter. So as you can see, Lysandra's is there. Apothecary's is already full, so he's taking a turn. At the moment, as it stands, the next player to take a turn, it looks like, would be Lysandra, so she's pretty fast, just not fast enough. But when I use this ability, those 2 are now at full, whereas those 3 are still lagging behind, and she's probably going to take a turn, after everyone now, because these 3 champions have all had enough of an increase to make them take a turn before her. I hope, because if she does cut in, she's going to lower the turn meter, and then I'm screwed. So let's put Crumbling Blast down. Now, the good thing about this ability, though, is if it does get around to Kale and she is going to cut in, this ability here should decrease her turn meter. As you can see, everyone's turn meter decreased. And blow them up. And the Martyr survives because she's 6-star and she's a beast. Now let's try and take out this guy before he does that. Oh no. we lost guys. So again, that just shows you the Kale. If the Kale was 6-star there, easy win. So that is the only thing we're lacking, I'm afraid. We can't really progress much further through silver with 5-star champions. Well, I'll say that. She's only 4-star. Those 2 are 5-star. He's a 5-star. I don't need any of these 3 really at 6-star yet. I just need damage out of Kale, that's it. Because I've got enough accuracy just now on her and on Jingle Hunter to do what I need to do. I don't need books on him. Yeah, there's a lot of variables, so hopefully this weekend, guys, we can pull something crazy out of these shards. Fingers crossed we get another Sacred. Please leave in the comments below the #1 epic or rare that I could pull this weekend from my shard. So I'm going to guaranteed get, I think I'm definitely going to get 2 Sacreds this weekend, so I'm guaranteed going to get 2 epics, hopefully a legendary, but I'll just take any legendary going just now. Maybe not War Mother, but there's a few that I would definitely really like that would help boost this account. But anyone like a Tyrell, Zargala, Duck the Pierced, what's his name? Stag Knight, one of those kind of champions, just good utility. Ugo would be absolutely insane, actually, really cool. Would love a Cold Heart out of this Void Shard, would be pretty awesome for getting me through dungeon stuff. Granted, she's not going to do much in the new dungeons like my earlier video said, but that's fine. Up to level 20 dungeons should get me into Platinum. A couple of Ancient Shards, so let me know what kind of rare you think I should be getting. And that's it, guys. That is the account. It's just a quick update. And this weekend, we'll pull all my shards. Hopefully we can pull something decent. I will have Calyx 6-star by then. And I'm pretty sure that this team's going to skyrocket once I get him built out properly. I think that's one thing to keep in mind when you're a new player as well, is a lot of people will kind of build a team like this. You know, I've built this team pretty well as it is, and then it's not performing perfectly yet. It's getting beat by a lot of teams, so people get disheartened and they go and try something different. I've been playing long enough now that I know this game is like, honestly, 80 to 85% gear based and then 15% champion based. I think a lot of people assume that, oh, you need these champions to do this, you need this. It's just gear. Like, if I had the gear from my main account on this account with these champions, I could easily get into platinum. Like, so easily. It'd be super, super easy. Granted, I probably couldn't place in platinum, but getting in would be a piece of piss. So it is definitely a gear related game. The champions do make a big difference, and if you pull something like a Hegemon or all these guys, it does make a massive difference. But gear is the number one, guys, definitely. So this team will work. It's just not got the gear yet. I've got pretty decent gear for the level, but once I get, especially him to 6-star, some masteries on them all as well, that makes a big difference. There's so many variables that I think people just try teams out when they're early and maybe it doesn't work for them and they try something different. I would just get a team that you know is going to work, watch someone on YouTube, get a decent team and just stick with it, grind it out. It might not be as fun, but just food all the rubbish champions. Like, there's no point in me building up a shaman over these guys. Not for an arena build anyway, because she's not that great. And to be honest, she's not that great in PvE anyway. I mean, she's got a revive, but this ability, increased crit rate on all allies, meh. This spell, I mean, it's just for an epic. It's not that great considering the amount there is just now. And it's so much easier as a free-to-play player just now to get more stuff in this game because you've got more quests to do. You've got the advanced quests here. You get more books and chickens out of it. You've got the Doom Tower, which I cannot do any of right now because I'm nowhere near high enough. This is pretty hard content. I can't even get past stage 1 yet, so it's not normal. But eventually, if I can build up, I'm going to get some cool rewards here, some energy. Sacred Shard, is there a Sacred Shard here? No, it's not. It's a Void Shard here. Do they still have the stupid keys up here? Oh no, they put the Void Shard back, so they were just screwing with us. It's hard, you have to actually get the Sacreds, unfortunately. I think you get 2 Sacreds out of hard. Is it 2? Yep, 1 and 2. But I am not going to be doing hard mode. Doom Tower, that's infinitely harder, really, than getting into Platinum at the moment for me. That's going to be proper endgame getting into that. So that's the update video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel as always, and hit that bell button for notifications so you don't miss the next free-to-play or free-to-plat video. Leave in the comments below anything you want to say about the video, and obviously, like I said earlier, whatever champions you think I should be pulling this weekend or ones you hope I'll pull. And that's it, guys. Have a great day. Peace.